I wanted to talk about this MFJ Model 564 Iambic paddle. I mentioned before that at best it worked, and at worst, it was mushy as all get out. And at times, this paddle, the Da paddle, in my case, uh, it wouldn't return home. It would just kind of float there. And I could pull the spring and pull backward on it and increase the tension crazily, and that wouldn't even cause the paddle to return to the home position. And I looked at it closely and realized it's a problem of design, and all you can do is maybe work with it and try to mitigate that failure at best. And I'll show you something I did to mitigate that in a moment. But first, let me mention that this paddle went from mushy to nice and crisp and snappy with the addition of magnets. It still has the spring because it needs the spring, or it needs some kind of tensioning device. It could be a rubber band if you want, if you provide a ground connection to these two armatures. Or is this the armature? Or is this? I don't know. Irregardless, potentially you could put you could use a rubber band or whatever to replace a spring, as long as you attach a real thin ground wire to each side and ground it to something on the paddle. Because that's how it works. This is all at ground potential, and this is isolated from ground. When you press the paddle, it grounds this. So, anyway, this thing went from mushy, and it was too mushy for high speed CW operation. If I tried to transcend at anywhere approaching 25 words per minute, no, it wasn't. I'd start making mistakes because it didn't return fast enough. And boy, that's a problem of the past. Now, let me turn my monitor off so I can just tap on the paddle without issuing any audio. Now, not only does it return snappily, I'm going to pause you and pick you up and set the phone right next to this thing and see if you can hear it. But let me first tell you, now it returns so positively that when I do that, I'm using my thumb and pressing the dip paddle, in my case, the dip side. That's a matter of preference and whether you're right-handed or left-handed. But some right-handers prefer it reversed. Anyway, it's all how you learn it. But I digress. Now, when I do that, it's returning so fast that it hits the stop before my thumb is off of the paddle. Huh, I can feel it bottom out. I hear the click and I can feel it bottom out before I take my thumb away. That's revolutionary in the operation of this paddle. And the same thing on the DAW side, using my index finger. Same thing. I feel it hit bottom out before my finger's off of that wooden finger piece. These wooden finger pieces, I won them in my QRP club. They had a giveaway. All you had to do, they have special events and such, and all you've got to do is make one contact and submit it, and you're entered in the prize drawings, that type of thing. It's a nice third prize. They're handcrafted by a master wood craftsman, some member of the club. Again, I digress. I'm going to pick you up and see if you can hear this. It makes an audible tap, tap, tap. Hang on, man. Oh, man, that's a view to die for. Hang on. The most beautiful view on YouTube. Listen. Click. When it makes contact, it clicks. Click. And when it releases, it goes, Can you believe that crap? Hang on, man. I pause you. The first transatlantic message sent via Morse code included the phrase, "What hath God wrought?" Well, I don't know what God's rotten. Rotten? I'm taking it. What hath God wrought here? I have an assortment of neodymium magnets, and I don't like to pronounce it that way. I like to pronounce it with an N, neodymium. But I'm wrong. It's neodymium. It's clumsy. Again, I digress, and I apologize. I'll try to stay on topic and show you something useful. I've often thought that this paddle maybe could benefit from them. Man, I'm hanging a little low on one side. But whatever. I often thought that it could benefit from the addition of magnets, but yeah, I didn't feel like it, man. And I started looking at it. I've looked at it, and wondered what might one do? Where might one attach a bracket here or there? And I started thinking if the brackets were made out of brass and you glued the magnets to it, then yeah, they wouldn't interact with the mounting material. And well, I started playing around with these magnets, and guys, I will measure them after I make this video. I'll include the diameter and the thicknesses below in the description or the comment area, one or the other. And this guy here, boy, I held it up there and snap, on it went, Damn. Here, let me pull it off of there and show you. I need a tool. It's not easy to do. And this is the wrong tool to use because the magnet will stick to it. It'll get it. What I do, I use a wooden tool to remove them. So there, I've removed the magnetic return. Oh my God. It clicks when it makes contact, but it barely goes back. It is reaching its stop, but it just kind of meanders its way on back there. Oh my God, the difference is shocking. No, I did something bad here. I pulled this magnet off and I didn't, I've confused the polarities. Get them wrong in this. I've actually done that. I'm going to pause you, zoom you in. Okay, sorry it jumped on your screen, but yeah, get the polarity of this magnet wrong and it'll, I've actually done that before. And what happens? It closes the contact. It pushes the pedal closed. So, boy, that feels so mushy. It's not funny. So this is the bigger, where am I? This is the bigger of the magnets, and it's really not very big. As you can, well, it looks big there. It's really not. It's trying to find the screw under there. It's a very strong magnet. I don't know if they're N48 or N52. It wants to align itself with various things. See that? Freaking strong. Look at that, man. These things have propelled razor blades across my bench, slicing through my finger on their way to the destination magnet. Get two of these anywhere near each other on your desk and they slam together and they shatter. You can see a flake on one side of it from previous crashes. There, right there he is. So there he is, the flake. The flake. I won't. That's low-hanging fruit. I'm not going to go there, man. I'm going to... So you can see, all I did initially, I just held it up here. I looked at my paddle, and I thought, I'm going to try to tip you up a little farther. I looked at my paddle, and I thought, well, boy, I held the magnet up in the vicinity of this, and snap, it attached. And I looked at it and I thought, yeah, okay. Now where can I stick a magnet to? And I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, okay. So I need to pull this that way in the direction of the pen. That magnet needs to pull that way, right? I started looking at the paddles and I'm like, boy, stick one right there. I'm going to pause you. I'm going to figure out which polarity this needs to go. Hang on, man. Okay, I figured it out. And show you what I did so I don't forget it again. Took a blue Sharpie to it. So when I initially put that on there, I'm going to back you up a little bit so you can hopefully see. I just held the magnet up there and it went click. And I just slid it down a little, scooched it in a little, and I looked at it. And this was before I had this one here. And I thought, huh, no kidding, huh? Oh, there we go. Clicker, clicker. Oh, that's nice. And so now these two magnets are being pulled together. This little guy and this guy. Initially, I held with my fingers one of these size up against this. One of these is called an armature and one a yoke. I think this is the yoke. This is, I think these are the armatures, and I don't know what you want to call this. Anyway, so I took one of the other little magnets. Now, this is brass. The magnet won't stick to this, okay? So you're gonna have to glue it on, man. And, because these two, otherwise it goes snap and shatters on this one. So, that magnet there might be small, but it's powerful. And so I took a tiny little drop of super glue, dropped it on this piece, and without this magnet here, I set that one in place, man. And it doesn't matter which polarity you stick it on there with your glue, because this guy can flip over, right? This guy doesn't need to be glued on. He's got a death grip on this steel. He's got a far, far stronger attachment to the steel than he feels to this little guy. He stays put. And this guy, let me show you what I did, man. I felt it, and I said, oh, yes, I'm home. At long last, I'm home. I'm too damn poor for it, but golly key. Oh, man, I'm a simple man of simple means. Oh, man, I'm just a QRPer at heart. Damn it. And so I repeated the process for this side. Right, guys? And I turned it around. Let me grab your nose. And I felt it. Oh, and I went, oh, yes. Oh, yes, beautiful. But, guys, I'm an oddball when it comes to my paddle preference, my spacing, and my tension. You know what it is, guys, us CW ops, man? I'm not being arrogant. I'm just stating it. I'm stating it like it is, man. I'm going to pause you and give you a nice close look at that. Hang on. Check it out, guys. We're looking at the da side, the right-hand side of the paddle. Did you hear my man snore? Blitzy's hanging out with me. We're in the laundry room. My Radio Shack. Well, guys, I'm an oddball with my paddle preferences. I like significantly more tension on my index finger, the da paddle, than I do the dit side. I do. You got to understand, man, I've never sent with a straight key. I've been operating an Iambic paddle for 48 and a half years, 49 years, some shit like that, right? Sorry about cussing. So let me be serious again. Count the little guy magnets. Sorry about sticking my pen in your face. It's better than my finger. Damn, I did it again. Put the pen down, Chuck. The die side and the dit side felt the same. So what I do? I just slapped another little guy on top of the one. Right? You zoomed way in. I pause you. I pull one off. Hang on. There you go. See, that one's glued on. The second one isn't. Even though the second little guy magnet, it feels the great magnetic pull from this guy. He feels an even greater magnetic pull from this guy because they're touching each other. So how do you mount that second guy back on there? You're not going to just stick it on there right now because the stronger magnet will snap it right out of your fingers. What do? I'm going to pause you one last time and remove the bigger magnet. No, I won't pause you. Let me reach up. It's pretty strong. I got to hold the paddle down. There. He's off of there. Let me put another blue dot on it. So, because I want it to go back on the same as it was. Okay. Blue dot base is out. Okay. So, when you go to put that second little guy magnet on there, let me pick it up. They're small. I'll try to show you if I can figure out where my finger. Oh, come on, man, Chuck. The video's getting too damn long. Can you see it? Can you see it? Okay, so I want to stick the second little magnet on top of the first one. Which polarity? You don't even have to worry about it. You get anywhere there close, and it'll snap it. It'll take it away from you. Boom. There we go. And it'll center itself perfectly. Okay, having done that, I'm going to put this powerful magnet back on. The bigger of the ones, I should say. And there you go. You can center it up nice and little happy if you want, and it really isn't critical. And there you go. Let me check. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. And so that's what I do, guys. I thought about gluing this bigger magnet in place, but no, it's just not needed. Why would you if it's not needed? Because what you do need to do is you need to remove this magnet to add additional ones here. Having said that, once you tune this thing to your liking, you could glue everything. It wouldn't matter, I suppose. One moment, I pause you. When you've been using a paddle as long as I have, you get exquisitely intimate with how it feels. You get very demanding. I do liken it to a person that plays an instrument in a symphony. How particular do you think they are about their instrument of choice, of profession, Oh, I bet they're insanely sensitive to how an instrument feels and behaves. And so that's what I've done to this MFJ Model 564 Iambic paddle to give it crisp, positive responsiveness. And that feels sweet. That feels sweet. I'm going to tip it up on edge after I bring you, I'll bring you back after I've tipped it up on edge. You know what I mean, man. Hang on. Guys, I have another episode of CW Talk that I'm going to do. I don't know which one you'll see first, this one or that one. It depends on whether I have to edit that video. If not, I'll post it raw. This one I will have to edit. Guys, I hope you're well. Let me say that again. And I hope you're having a good day. I hope this video gets shorter after I edit it. I'm so sorry, man. I am so sorry. And I tried to keep the babble to a minimum. Blitzy, you want to say bye to the fellas? Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're so scary. Oh, you're so scruffy. You need a haircut. Look at him, man. Look at that. That's what he gets in the wintertime. I give you the finger again. I hate this phone camera, this pocket typewriter. Beautiful, beautiful. Fred? Hey, Fred, I'm very, very sorry, man. Boy, I am so sorry, man. Guys, I'll be back. I'll talk to you later. You know it's coming. Bye now.